Hey everybody, happy Friday the 13th. I'm hopping on for like a little impromptu live. I just did a great interview for my people with Kelly Marshall, who is a pricing. Oh, I forget her exact title. I'm so bad. She is a coach that helps people with their pricing and like owning the value of their programs. And we had a great conversation. Definitely find that live and watch it. She did a great job talking about the five must-have mindsets for premium pricing and gave some great prompts to help you really digest the information and get it, customized for your business, which I love. But I wanted to talk to you today. So, how many of you are on a plateau, or you maybe feel like you've hit a wall with your business? Like you're not getting sales, or you're not getting the amount of sales, you're not bringing in, the clients that you really want to get. Um, it's yeah, no shame. It happens. So there's kind of two schools of thought about this, right? There is the mindset school of thought that's like everything's a mindset problem. And then there's the people that are like hardcore strategy and like everything's a strategy problem. You just need the right strategy. And I'm going to tell you why I think that it's really both. So, my name is Heather Wild Smith. I'm a sales coach for people who hate sales. I teach people to find aligned strategies. I help them custom craft aligned strategies for their marketing and sales so they can show up and be completely comfortable and feel authentic and genuine, and be respectful of their potential clients so that they can get more sales. And I have an announcement at the end. I'm actually changing my niche just slightly, but I'll talk about that more in a minute. So, the strategy versus mindset thing. Okay, so I so at different times in my career, I've experienced different sides of this. Okay, so if you follow me, you've probably and you've watched my lives, you've heard me talk about this. So years ago, I was in a training and they were teaching us to use a sales script, which sales scripts are not really a great idea. But this particular sales script was written in neuro linguistic programming, or NLP. Now, NLP is a great tool for personal growth. It's fantastic. Nothing wrong with it. And the problem I had was that it was being used in a sales script, and here's why. So, NLP is a form of hypnosis. It's a mild form of hypnosis, but nonetheless, it's fucking hypnosis. And so, they were encouraging us to use hypnosis on people without telling them that we were using hypnosis on them, and then asking for several $1,000s for a coaching program. And I didn't find that ethical. But when I asked them about it, they defended their system, and they're like, no, there's nothing wrong with this. It's just your mindset. You just have success blocks, you just have money blocks. And so I was like, I don't know, but I was like trying to I try to have a beginner mind, so if you go into something thinking that you know everything, you're not going to get nearly as much out of it. So I went and I did some serious work on my money blocks and my success blocks. And there definitely was stuff there. And there's still stuff. I think we're always, working on that, especially as we up level in our business and in our lives. But even after I did all the work, I still didn't find this use of hypnosis during a sales conversation to be ethical. It was not an aligned strategy for me. And the problem with a lot of, well, it can be with even with some one-on-one coaches, like, there's some people that are just very like, they figured out the strategy that works for them. And so they think that this is the only strategy in the world, and they will like pound it into your head and you have to use that strategy. So that can happen one-to-one. It's especially rampant in group programs, especially big group programs, especially big group programs run by people that are considered like gurus in the industry, because they've come up with this system and they're charging this high ticket for it. And they feel like if they compromise and they help you, this is the mindset I think goes behind this, because they're really not willing to help you tweak or customize the system. They're just like, here's the system. Even in programs that offer some degree of one-to-one, they don't want to help you customize it. They're just like, here's the system, it works, work it, right? And the thing is like all strategies work, but no strategy works for everybody. Like anybody who's selling you something and they're like, this strategy works for everybody. No, it doesn't. It doesn't even, it doesn't even work 100% for the people that it's a great fit for, because businesses are highly individual, and you have to be willing to experiment and try different strategies and figure out what really works for you and what helps you to feel great about your business and what helps you to get sales and what really helps your people to get results, right? So, like I had a friend recently contacted me and he's like, yeah, I think I'm going to go do this, group training. And I was like, yeah, I like a lot of things about them, but remember when we were in their workshop and like you were trying to get some specific help about your sales conversation and they just refused to even entertain the thought that their way wasn't perfect and the only way? And he was like, oh yeah. It was like, yeah, that's kind of a problem. So for some people, maybe it's not, but if you're somebody who has very strong ideas about the kind of business person you want to be, the kind of business you want to have, how you really want to serve people, then you really are going to need somebody who's going to help you like customize, strategies. So earlier, in my career, I was focusing mostly on strategy and people would talk about mindset. And I was just like, okay. And the other thing that irked me about mindset, even though I saw the value in it, was that so often if something wasn't working for you, instead of delving into, okay, well, why isn't this working for you? Like, what could we change? Where's the misunderstanding come from? It would just get brushed off. And it's like, if this isn't working, then your mindset's, fucked up. And it's like, that's not always the case. Like mindset's really important. I'm going to talk about that in a second. But if the strategy isn't right for you, then it's not right. And no amount of mindset work is going to fix that, right? Because you need a different strategy, or you need to tweak the strategy a little bit, which is what I ended up having to do for myself, and I'm really great at it, and I love helping people do that. You don't have to reinvent the wheel most of the time. You can just take the wheel and rearrange it a little bit and start getting better results. Okay, so but recently, this year, I finally did a lot of mindset work, yes, and worked with some people who were willing to help me customize some strategies and figure out what really worked for me. Because here's the thing, like if you don't feel good about the way you're marketing, and I'm not talking about, well, if the system isn't aligned, that can lead to you having a lot of imposter syndrome. But even if it's aligned, you could be having some doubts about yourself and whatever, and that's definitely a mindset issue. But if you don't feel 100% good about the way you're marketing, if you don't feel like it's honest enough, or what have you, or the way that you've been taught to sell, you're going to dread it, and it's going to be 1,000 times harder for you to show up and market consistently. Like you've got to be posting consistently. And if you don't feel good about what you're posting, it's going to be really hard to make yourself do it consistently. If you don't feel good about the way you're selling, you're not going to pitch as much. If you don't feel good about the strategy and structure or script or whatever it is you're using to sell to people, your energy is not going to be there, your passion is not going to be in there, and you're going to dread the fuck out of sales calls. You're going to be anxious. You're going to be miserable, and that's not going to lead to you getting clients, right? So it is really important to be aligned, with whatever strategies that you're using. So how do you know if it's a strategy problem, a strategy mismatch, or like a mindset block, right? And this is where, you need to talk to your mentors, you need to talk to your business allies, and people that aren't just going to shut you down, people who have a genuine interest in seeing you succeed. I got started this year. Well, I've been coaching for 10 years, and I finally caught traction and started making some sales this year. And, it was one-to-one mentorship. It was, a lot of mindset stuff. And it was also just like giving myself permission and having the permission of my coaches and the help in crafting these ways of showing up that felt good to me, and this way of selling that felt really good to me. And so I made my first couple of high ticket sales, and I was like, oh my God, like I'm off the ground. Everything is great. Everything's going to be easy from now on. And then I hit a wall. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to keep posting, and I'm going to keep working these strategies that have been working for me. And I was working the hell out of them. And I'm like, okay, this isn't working. I'm not getting another client. So I invested in another group program and got some more strategies, started working with them. And I'm like, I'm still not getting clients. I'm like, what else can I do? And at the end of, like a couple of months of not making any sales, I was like, I think this is I feel good about the strategies I'm using. I think this is a mindset thing. And it was really funny because as soon as I as soon as I really dedicated myself to the mindset work, like a morning practice, and was meditating and visualizing, and getting some exercise, and incorporating some self care, all of a sudden I got 2 sales in 10 days. So really it clearly was a mindset thing with me, and there's different strategies that I'm trying out now, but they're all like really aligned, like they feel good. Like I'm doing a master class next week that I'm really excited about. I come from a family of teachers, like my mom's side of the family, like they're all educators, and I never had the desire to go into public school teaching, but I found as a coach that I really really love teaching. I used to teach adult sex ed classes when I was a sex coach, and it was so much fun. It was just, I just had a good time, like educating people and expanding their minds. So, I'm incorporating that strategy now. And if you want to get on my master class, it's next Thursday. It's how to handle sales objections without being an asshole. And as I'm putting together this class and expanding on it from where I taught it last month at a summit, it's not just sales objections. It's going to help you to see the value of your program in a completely different light, and it's going to give you lots of new fodder for content and posts, and really increase your confidence. Allow you to raise your prices. I mean, there's just going to be a lot going on with this class. So if you're interested, DM me. I'll have to be happy to give you the details. There's going to be a 45-minute group implementation call afterwards, where I will help you customize the strategies that I taught to your particular business, and give you and answer any questions that you have. So that's my little commercial about my masterclass. But yeah, if you're feeling good about your strategy, and you're doing it, and you can honestly say that you're showing up, you have people, you have outside help of some kind helping you to do it correctly, because we need help. We need help. We don't see what we're doing as clearly as people outside of us a lot of the time. So it's really important. If you don't have a mentor, if you don't have the money for a mentor, partner up with people that are people that are going to be honest with you, but really, like, find the money, go get a mentor. That's how you're going to get the most bang for your buck. That's how you're going to get out of your slumps. But if you're doing everything that you know to do, and you're showing up consistently, and everything, and you feel good about it, and you're still not getting results, then it probably is a mindset block. And there's a bunch of different ways that you can process mindset blocks. It can be journaling, it can be energy healing, emotional freedom technique, EFT, the tapping thing, has helped me a lot. There's a lot of different ways, but again, with the mindset block, a lot of times we don't see it, right? That's why it's a block. Like, it's literally like, it's like, it's to everyone else, or someone who we're talking about it with, like, it's right there in front of our face, but we can't see it. It's a block, right? And so that's where it's really really important to have a mentor, to be able to say, what, I think this is what's going on. And interestingly, I have a client who was really really scared about prices, and was really having this whole thing. I could not get her to see the value of what it was that she was doing. And when we did like a little digging, instead of just saying like, you're wrong, you need this strategy, I was like, okay, well, what's going on? Like, where's this coming from? And it turned out that the person who had taught her for next to nothing, had done all this work on her. And she's a healing modality, had done all this healing on her, and then taught her the healing modality, and had done it for practically nothing. And so her block was, how can I go and turn around and charge for this, and charge premium for it, when the person who gifted me with this, my mentor, didn't charge me anything, or charge me very little. And so she couldn't see that on her own. And I was like, whoa, I was like, this is what's going on. And I talked to her like a week after we had the conversation, and she was like, yeah, she was like, it really, really, as much as I didn't want to hear it, like, that's what was going on. So, the mindset stuff is real, right? You need to handle it. But here's the other thing I see people do is they aren't getting traction, with their business, for whatever reason. They're not finding the strategies, whatever. And they end up going down a mindset and or spiritual healing rabbit hole. And I love mindset. I love, energy healing. I think spirituality is a huge part of your business, whether you realize it or not. Um, and no matter what religion you are, or, whatever, I think, there's a spiritual component to business to me. And so it's good to be aware of that stuff. But what I see people do is they go from all strategy to all mindset and woo woo. And they kind of like stop with the strategy, they just go down this other rabbit hole. And the thing is that I, I saw this, I kind of glimpsed this a couple of years ago, and it's becoming more and more clear to me that it's in going after our biggest goals that we become the people that we really want to be. So if you've got a vision of this amazing person that, like, to me, like, this person is inside me, and I'm like trying to like claw my way to get her and to let her out, because the woman that, like, my true essence is like just fucking amazing, like, I just know that she needs to be out in the world. But just sitting around and doing personal development and mindset and spiritual work and everything is not getting her to the surface. It's in going after these big goals that were challenged and carved and created. It's like that's how we're created into this person, right? So if you're going after, and starting your own business is a big goal. Like, even if you don't have a goal to make $100 million and, to be on Oprah and all this stuff, like, just starting your own business is a big goal, so it's going to carve you, it's going to change you. And if you allow it, really make you into the person that you were truly, truly born to be, like the highest expression of yourself, the highest and most joyful and most impactful version of yourself, but you can't meditate your way into it. You can't visualize your way to it. You have to be taking action. And so what it looks like is, like, you take an action and you hit a wall, or you feel really uncomfortable, or whatever, and so you go and you up your mindset work, or you do more visualization, or you meditate more, you pray more, whatever it is. And then you keep taking action, and as you're doing this mindset, spiritual, personal growth side of things, the action gets a little easier until you hit another plateau or hit a wall. And the whole time you're doing the spiritual and the mindset work and all of the personal growth work, you don't just do one or the other. Like, you need to be doing both at the same time. But this is what it's looked like for me. It's like I take a little more action, and I get scared, and then I'm no longer taking as much action, or it's feeling really heavy, it's feeling really hard, so I've got to up the mindset work. And as we do that, our business, or whatever goal it is that we're trying to reach, comes closer to being in fruition, and the person that we most want to be, this fullest expression of ourselves, gets revealed more and more every step of the way. So I would love to hear what you guys think, like, where you've run into problems and realized that it really was a strategy problem, or when you've realized that it was just a mindset thing. And I just want you to be aware, like, if anybody is, if you're working with someone, whether it's in a group capacity or a one-to-one, and they're not willing to look at how to adjust a strategy or something, and they're just putting it off on your mindset, don't necessarily buy that. Go work on your mindset, it is important, but just recognize that maybe there's another way that's going to be better for you. And don't let that stop you in what you're doing. So that's what I have for today. I'm going to reiterate my announcement, and that is, in preparing for this masterclass, and I'm also preparing. So the masterclass is how to make sales. Okay. How to handle sales objections without being an asshole. And so, my whole thing is that, like, you can sell and market in a way that's really authentic, really genuine, really honest, and still make great money and really have great clients. And if you're somebody who is, really strives to be, if you're a high integrity person, and anything that's not in integrity with you really feels uncomfortable, like really just drives you nuts, this is the only way for you. I may not be the only way. There's other people that teach similar things, but, like, you need to be finding strategies that are aligned, is what I'm saying. And so this class about how to handle sales objections without being an asshole. One of the biggest things that held me back in sales was the whole mindset, tactics, strategy, whatever, of overcoming objections. And I felt like it just felt slimy. It felt pushy. It felt aggressive. It felt very dismissive of people's concerns. It was just like, I don't care what you say. I'm going to sell to you. You are going to buy, was the energy I felt from it. And I didn't like that. So that really held me back for a long time. And I finally had to take the least icky version of that I had ever been taught and combine it with, a little something here, a little something there, and then also just put my own spin on it, and now I have a way of handling sales objections. I actually don't call them objections at all. They're concerns, and I call it addressing concerns. So my masterclass is going to be all about how to address concerns in a way that's really respectful, really supportive of your clients, and it's going to make you more likely to get the sale, but you're also not going to feel like you need a shower after it. You're not going to have a karmic debt from the way that you sold to this person. And so it's really great. It's fantastic information. When I taught it the first time, it was at the 100 Women of Vision Summit in October. I was calling it How to Handle Sales Objections with Grace, then which it is that, but it's more mean to just say how to handle sales objections without being an asshole. Because that's what it comes down to. Like, I want to sell and I want to make great money and I want to change people's lives, but I'm not willing to be an asshole to do it. And you don't have to. So this class, as I'm reworking it, it got really rave reviews at the summit, and as I'm reworking it, I'm finding like there's so much in the sales objections thing that is really about knowing your program inside and out and knowing the benefits of your program inside and out. And this is something that I was never able to really connect really well with when other people taught about benefits. And in doing the sales objections thing, I've come around through like the back door. I'm like, oh, now I understand benefits now, right? And the value in this, what I'm realizing that I really have to offer is, if someone is in a niche that is, so the masterclass is for anybody. And I'm open to coaching anybody who is, they're in integrity. They want to have a great business. They just want to stay in integrity. But what I'm being called to really specialize in is people that are in non-business, non-money niches, right? Because a lot, like it's easy, people think, when you're a business coach or you're a financial coach or whatever, because you can tell people like you're going to get this ROI. Like it's very easy to connect. Like there's going to be a financial benefit to working with me. So yes, you have to make an investment, but you're going to make the money back in this amount of time, or, whatever. But for people who are, like when I was doing sex coaching, like I was like, how am I supposed to explain the value of this, to people? And I hear that a lot from my clients, and the people that I've worked with so far have been like energy healers. And, one of my clients now, we're doing a lot of deep and emotional work to get everything out of the way so that she can be aligned with starting a new business. But she's probably not going to be any kind of, business coach or financial coach either. And I'm realizing that like, I have this gift. I have this gift to help people who are in non-business, non-money niches to really get the value and to really be able to own the value of their services, of their program, to really be able to charge well for it, and not only know it, but to be able to explain it very succinctly to people so that people are more excited to invest. And so they get like why why it's really in their best interest to invest in this program or in these services. So yeah, just a little narrowing of my niche. If you're in a business or a money thing, come talk to me. We'll see if it's a good fit. But anybody who is, health coach, spiritual coach, healer, relationship coach, any of those things, and you want to talk to somebody who really gets it, what it's like. Because I was in one of those niches for a long time, and it was odd because yes, I ended up being a business coach, but It was like I had to study so hard and so long to get the marketing and sales piece, that by this time I finally got it so that I could go make sales and marketing as a sex coach. I was an expert in sales and marketing. And so it was kind of like, oh, well, let me go do this. Um, but I can help you. I can help you see the value, and I can help you explain the value, and I can help you charge premium for what you're doing and feel really confident and really great about it, and get you out there changing more lives, and have your life change better for you and your family, and all of that good stuff. So if you're interested in the masterclass, it's going to be amazing. First 15 people to sign up are going to get a 45-minute group implementation call where we're going to answer questions, and I'm going to help you customize the strategies. I'm going to teach you the strategies that I use, but then we can talk afterwards and we can say, okay, how can we best work this for your audience, for your niche, for your business? What's going to feel good? What's going to help you address these people's concerns so that if they're a good fit, they're more likely to buy, right? So definitely get in on that. The price is $299. It is a steal for that, like for the amount of value that you're going to get, not only in helping you feel better about your sales and make more sales and change more lives, but also in the way it's going to show you to look at your business a little differently. You really I could see somebody going through this and raising their prices just from going through this 90-minute masterclass, after having that much of more of an insight into their ideal clients and into what it is that they offer. So I hope to see you in the masterclass. I do have some one-to-one spots open for the rest of the year. I've got 3. My prices will be doubling after January. So come and talk to me if you're thinking about getting some coaching. Now is the time. And happy Friday the 13th, 2020. Wear crosses, cross your fingers. No, I'm just joking. You guys have a great day. Thanks for watching.